LimbO here, and as I always promise, I am back with another video for this week to continue to help my breastfeeding moms with y'all breastfeeding journey. So today we are going to be talking about the proper way of latching. Now y'all remember last week, and I have her right here with me too today. Can't forget about her. So y'all have her twice in a row, so it's pretty good. But if y'all remember last week, I made sure that I posted a video for you all last week about the different breastfeeding positions. Now within the video of the breastfeeding positions, I want to make sure that I also touch bases on proper latching, so that when y'all do use those breastfeeding positions, y'all make sure that the latching is being properly used as well, so that it'll be a successful breastfeeding experience in general. Okay, so we are going to hop into that, and I'm so excited about that. But if you are new to my channel, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you hit that bell notification button as always, so you can always be notified every time I post a new video. And welcome to LimbO. So without further ado, let's go into this video. So with proper latching, we're going to attempt to use Araya Jr. here, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it do what it do, so that you all can know what to do about this, okay? So in order for me to teach you all and show you all about the proper latching, what I'm going to use the breastfeeding position that was my favorite position while I was breastfeeding her as a newborn. It was the rugby or the football position, where I had her like this. Now, the reason why this was my favorite position was because it was so easy to see her, face, to make sure that she was doing okay while she was feeding off of me. And it was just very convenient. I was still able to have a free hand and do what I needed to do and everything, but I was still able to make sure that she was latched on properly and getting the food that she needed as well. Now my second favorite position that I used, which was also really good for latching for a beginner breastfeeding mom, was the crossover cradle, where I crossed her over. From this, you have her, basically your hand is as if you're about to do the football position, but instead of doing a regular cradle, which you all have saw in the last video like this, you're using the football position for the hands, but you're going to the crossover cradle position to feed her. So those are my two favorite ones. First thing that I'm going to say though, with breastfeeding, you want to make sure that when you're beginning with breastfeeding, your first breastfeeding, a lot of times, because I didn't know at first, a lot of moms don't know, even if your baby does latch, sometimes it doesn't click to them that they need to breathe. So sometimes they have their nose buried in. Like, you all remember the recliner position when you first have your baby. And if your baby does like trying to come up to this point with you right here, 9 times out of 10, their nose is going to be smashed into your breast as well while they're trying to breastfeed. The best thing for that is just to kind of like still let them latch on, but just use your finger to press down on your chest like this. And that way it'll give air to the nose. So it'll leave opening for the nose. So you won't be interfering with them. You'll just be doing this while still having them in the recliner position and just moving your finger, pressing your finger down your chest so that your baby can still breathe. So that it'll make some air room for their nose, okay? But besides that, now we're going to talk about the proper latching. So with proper latching, the number one thing is that you want to make sure that your baby is not folding their lip when they're sucking on to you. You want to make sure they're not folding their lip. So you don't want it like this. And you don't want the top lip like that. You don't want neither one of those. What you want is for it to be pushed out. And when it's pushed out like that, you know that it's a proper latch. When you see that both their lips are poked out while they're on your nipple, you know that that's a proper latch. So when you do that, a lot of ways to guide them, how I used to guide Araya, I would do, you all remember the hamburger position, bottom C, well, upside down C. What I would do is I would guide her, or use my nipple, my breast to guide her. So what I would do is I would pull my breast down like that, and then I would pull it up. So let's say that I had her, I will push it down like that so that it can go to her bottom lip first. Then I will push her back up with it to close her mouth with it. And that way she'll be latched onto my areola area very well. Now, like I said, I'm going to do some pictures for this as well. But I really wanted to make sure that you all understood what I was saying with that. I also was going to use my nipple shield just to reiterate what I told you all in a previous video about how your baby should and should not latch. So, by using this nipple shield for the visual aid, what I'm going to explain to you all is the fact that with proper latching, you're going to make sure that you're not putting your baby just on your nipple. If you put your baby on just your nipple, that's how you end up having your soreness, your bleeding, all that bad stuff that we don't want to happen to you all. So, when you're breastfeeding your baby, you're going to make sure that the baby is on more than just... You know, make sure that your baby is on more than just this part right here of your nipple. You want to make sure that your baby is on more than just your nipple or on the tip of your nipple. That is not good. This right here, we can imagine that this is your areola. All of this right here, your areola. Because if you put this on, it's going to go to your areola anyway. So this part is imaginarily your areola right here. All this. So you want to make sure that you get your baby to cover up as much as that as possible. You want to make sure you can get your baby at least to right here on your areola, okay? The more your baby can get to your areola, the better for you and the better for your baby as well with their pull. So, with that being said, you want to make sure that, like I said, using my finger, mouth, you're going to make sure when you bring your breast to your baby, it's good to kind of like allow your baby to open up their mouth as well, because when they open up their mouth, and the wider they open up their mouth, the better it's going to be for you when they latch on. So when they do latch on, the way that I used to do it, Raya, this is my nipple, okay? It's not, yeah, this is my nipple. So what I would do is I would make sure that when it came near, she would kind of start opening up her mouth for it because she was ready for it. And if you start putting your nipple towards them anyway, they're going to naturally open up their mouth as well because they know that it's feeding time. So you want to make sure that their lips are going to be poked out. So what I would do is I would make sure that I would start at the bottom with my nipple first with her. Alright, then close it by bringing it back up to the top. And when you look, her top and bottom lip was both sticking out. Now with her top and bottom lip both sticking out, that was better for her to be able to suck off, as well as not making me be as sore because she had both her lips poked out as well. So you want to make sure that they're doing it. Now if they are latched on and it does hurt because of how they're latched on, take them off. It's okay to take your baby off if they're hurting you with the latch. You could take them off and try to latch them on again a little bit better. That would be more comfortable for you. So the way that I would do that, I would always use my pinky, and I will always put my pinky in the corner of her mouth to make an opening, because their mouth pretty much becomes a suction when they latch onto your nipple. So you can't just pull them off, because if you just pull them off your nipple, that's what's going to cause that soreness, that cracking of the skin, that bleeding. So what you will do instead is I will use you can either use your pinky or you can use your index finger. I always use my pinky because I found that it worked easier for me. Don't know why, but it did. So what I would do is I would make an opening in the side corner of her mouth, and then by doing that, I'll push like that. So by me doing that, that was me pushing her mouth. That was me pushing her mouth off. But I was able to interfere with that suction by creating a hole right there, which caused the air to come out. And that way it was easier for her to just pop off and come off instead of versus her pulling off. Because if she pulled off, that's where the issues would come in. So remember that. Always try to use your pinky or your index finger. Create a hole, an interference. Create that hole and then get it out, because that will actually help you out versus always pulling them off and everything and causing more hurt and more soreness for you. So that's what you're going to do. Now, with all of that being said, I am now going to show you all some pictures, some visual aids, so that you all can see the proper way of latching. And these visual aids that I found, they were actual, to me, they really show in detail how to get your baby to latch on properly to help you all with that, so that it won't be as bad, it won't be as sore or anything like that. So I'm going to take this time to let you all look at those pictures real quick, those visuals, so that you all can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about making sure your baby get to that areola, as well as making sure that your baby isn't on the tip, and also making sure that you start at the bottom and bring them back up, so you all see exactly what I'm talking about. And once you get that, the gist of all of that, your breastfeeding life will be so much easier when it comes down to the latching and the soreness and everything. I promise you it'll be so much easier. So here are the visuals. Now that you all seen the visuals, you all should know, hopefully you all know what I'm talking about with the latching on, with the areola, with all of that. So I didn't have the visuals, unfortunately, but I did have the help that I needed to make sure that I did get her to latch on properly. Once you get that straight and once you get that squared away and you figure that all out and get into the routine of doing it, I promise you that it's going to be easier with latching on. It's going to be easier with getting your baby off. It's going to be easier. So much easier. Also with this, you want to make sure that even if you are doing really good with latching and even if everything is going great, if you are still going through soreness even though everything is going great, because you're going to go through soreness regardless. I can talk all day about helping you get rid of the soreness and everything, which I can give you advice on getting rid of the soreness. However, you're going to experience soreness at some point in time. Like your breast is getting tugged on and getting sucked on to give milk to nurture a baby, and you're doing that on a daily basis as a routine. So because you're doing that on a daily basis as a routine, you're going to go through soreness. It's a given. It's going to happen. I went through soreness. Granted, I don't go through soreness now, like I always tell you all, but I did go through the soreness for a little while. So if you are going through soreness, make sure that you check out my other video for products that can help you out with your soreness and everything. Because even if you are going through soreness but the latching is going great, I guarantee you if you decide to use that nipple shield and the nipple shield and the nipple cream that I mentioned to you guys before, that will really help you out with your soreness. Now, if you are going through soreness with the latching and you decide to use the nipple shield, make sure that you're still practicing proper latching with your baby while using that nipple shield. What I mean by that is I suggest that if you are going through soreness, use the nipple cream and the nipple shield for a while to help ease your soreness, because if you still let your baby latch on to your nipple itself while you're going through soreness, that's not going to solve the soreness at all. That's just going to make it worse. So what I would suggest is that you use the nipple cream, you use the nipple shield, and you practice proper latching while your baby is on that nipple shield, because it's just like being on your nipple, because your baby technically is still on your nipple. So that would be the best thing to do, and that would be the best thing to practice. With that, as long as you practice proper latching while you're doing that, then you'll be just fine when it's time for you to go back to latching your baby on to you. But as far as proper latching go, take a look at the visual aids again that I've shared with you all, and make sure that you're taking heed to the advice that I'm giving you all when it comes down to making sure to how you decide how you're trying to latch your baby on by using the down up method, because it really works. And if it comes down to trying to get your baby off your nipple, make sure that you use the method that I show you all just now as well, when as far as using your pinky or your index finger to form an interference or a hole so that you can be able to get them off your nipple without it causing pull or anything like that on your nipple, because I promise you it's going to change your life. It changed mine. I promise you it's going to change your life, sis. But with that being said, that is all that I have for you guys today as far as proper latching. Make sure that you tune in to my next video next week. As you all already know, I will be posting once a week, and I'm going to continue to do this because I'm trying to be with y'all on y'all breastfeeding journey and on your baby journey as well. We're going to make this work. This is a journey that we're all going to go through together. So make sure that you all continue to tune in to me. We're going to continue to post every week. I will have Miss Araya here with me every chance I get. And also just make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you hit that notification bell button so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. And also make sure that you follow me on my Facebook page, LimbO Limbo. That's a capital L, capital O for Lindo and Limbo. Make sure you follow me on there, like that page. That way you can DM me if you need to, or you could just post on my page if you have a suggestion or a video that you would like to request for me to try to do for you, or if you just want to write something encouraging on there. Like I said, we're an encouraging community. We're encouraging each other to keep on pushing, because we're not quitters over here, sis. Okay, that's not happening. It's not an option. It's not. Okay, so we're gonna keep this going, keep it pushing, and just continue to go through your breastfeeding journey, and just know that I am here. I am here for advice. I am here to give you tips. I am here for whatever you need from me. Okay, I'm always gonna be here. So with that being said, once again, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you hit that push notification bell button so that you know every time that I post a video. Okay, and like I said, I will be posting once a week. It will always be on Wednesdays, no later than Fridays, but it will be once a week. I promise you that. So thank you again for tuning in to me. Y'all stay blessed. Bye.